Moses tending sheep in the field one day, thought he heard a burning shrub bush say, "You're gonna take my people from Pharaoh's hand, you're gonna lead them into the promised land." But Moses was afraid. He said, "What can I do?" The Lord said, "First of all, Mo, take off your shoes, for you are standing on holy ground, and I'm about to turn your life upside down. You're gonna take my people from Pharaoh's hand, you're gonna lead them into the promised land." "Oh no," said Mo, "can I be excused?" "No, this is an offer you cannot refuse. You're going to take my people from Pharaoh's hand. You're going to lead them into the promised land." But Moses was afraid to speak in front of others, so the Lord said, "Go ahead, take Aaron your brother. Together you will speak for me to old Pharaoh and tell him it's time to let my people go. You're going to take my people from Pharaoh's hand. You're going to lead them into the promised land. It's a land flowing with milk and honey, a very rich land where it's oh so sunny. So no more woes, Mo, get up and go." Now Aaron and Moses walked many a mile. They arrived in Egypt and stopped at the Nile. In Egypt they would show and tell God's glory, the beginning of the Hebrews' Exodus story. You're going to take my people from Pharaoh's hand. You're going to lead them into the promised land. Moses said to Pharaoh, "We need a 3-day weekend to worship God, sacrifice, and make amends." Said the Pharaoh, "You think your God has power? Well, so do I. Try making bricks without straw. How dare you defy?" But God heard the moans of his people enslaved. So Aaron went to Ramsey and said, "That's no way to behave. So our God will show you a thing or two. Watch as I throw Mo's staff before you." It turned into a snake. Pharaoh did a double take, for it ate of Egypt's snakes, for goodness sake. Mo demanded of old Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh stood firm and emphatically said, "No. Let the plagues begin, and by God's hand you will see God's power and releases from the land." The first, we watched the River Nile turn to blood, and then scads of frogs hop from the mud, followed by swarms of gnats and flies. Then Egypt, not the Hebrews, livestock died. Moses reached into the furnace and pulled out handfuls of ashes, and there was a plague of boils inside that inflicted Egypt's masses. "Oh, misery," the people cried, but things got worse. Their crops were destroyed by hail and locusts. For 3 days they sat in darkness, but the Hebrews had light. Moses said, "Let us go." Pharaoh said, "Get out of my sight." So at midnight death crept through the city, killing the firstborn. Such wailing, such a pity. Lamb's blood marked the frames of the Hebrews' doors, and the death passed over, God's mercy evermore. The loss of Pharaoh's son broke Pharaoh's hardened heart. He finally said, "Go away, no more plagues, just depart." So Moses took the people from Pharaoh's hand and he led them into the promised land. God led with a pillar of cloud by day, by night a pillar of fire led the way. In the Exodus, God was front and center to the promised land. God's rescue band would surely enter. For God saved the people from Pharaoh's hand, and God would lead them into the promised land. And I wonder, as you wander through this life, will God be front and center and lead you through your strife?